Hey! Welcome to the Diaspora Show here on 87.9 The Culture, where hip-hop and R&B lives. I am DJ Kadero. Welcome. It is a Tuesday, a Top 10 Tuesday on June 9, 2026. What's going on? What's poppin'? Que paso? Abaragani, Namnagani, Mambo VP, Hero Aku, Nango, Idinade, Bonda, Danaput, and Kefi Tokum. What up? For those that don't know, this is how the Diaspora Show works. First, I give you guys the top stories going on in Africa and the Caribbean and anywhere else that the African diaspora is centered. That is the Diaspora News. Then I give you guys words of wisdom through the African proverb of the day. These words of wisdom can either be a life lesson or an affirmation. Again, that's the African proverb of the day. After that, I give you guys the best beats, the best vibes, the best melodies, the best harmonies. I am one I'm the baddest Afro DJ in the game. So today being a Tuesday, I'm giving you guys a top 10 Afrobeat hits of the week. How you like that? How you love that? How does that make you feel? Well, with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's get right into the show. Let's go to the Diaspora News. Come on.
Live from 879 Studios in Omaha, Nebraska. This is Diaspora News with your anchor, DJ Kadero.
That's me. Let's get into it. What up? Woo! Yeah. What's up? What up? What up? Good morning if you're in the United States. Good evening and good night anywhere else that you guys are at. What up? If you guys pay attention to sports, I mean, we got the San Antonio Spurs of the NBA Finals finally showing up. I guess they were sleeping the past two games, but they woke up. It looks like home teams don't do very well so far in this NBA Finals. That's basketball for those that don't pay attention. Looks like the road team seems to want it more. Wouldn't that be funny? Is if whatever game is played at home, the opposing team ends up winning. That'd be funny. All right, for those that want to know on how to go ahead and get in the conversation with me and any of the other programs during the week, you can go ahead and click on the group chat tab. It's the fourth tab from the left in the app. Yeah, when you open up the app, there's 5 tabs. The fourth tab from your right. So my right. No, wait. That'd be the second. You know what? Just click on the group chat tab. And that way you can go ahead and get involved in the conversation at any given point during this and any of our other programs that run throughout the week. Let's go ahead and let's take a look. See if anybody's greeted us in the chat itself, huh? Not yet. Well, all right, we got 2 stories today, 2 that concern the African diaspora. One that deals with a referee being denied entry into the United States for the FIFA World Cup. And then the other story dealing with a Caribbean nation dealing with the effects and the after effects of an earthquake. So, good morning. Again, it's Tuesday, June 9, 2026. I'm your anchor for the Diaspora News, DJ Kadero, here on the Diaspora Show, exclusively on 87.9 The Culture, where hip-hop and R&B lives. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the top stories. So we start off with the Caribbean nation, Cuba. We go to the Caribbean Sea, where this Spanish-speaking nation felt a massive 6.1 magnitude earthquake that struck off of the west coast of Cuba. A powerful earthquake happened yesterday afternoon at around 2 p.m. Did you guys feel it? So in the Gulf of Mexico, roughly about 65 miles from the tip of Cuba, this is being called one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded in the Gulf region. I want you guys to hear that correctly. The earthquake that happened yesterday was recorded as the strongest earthquake that has happened in the Gulf of Mexico. Jeez. The shockwaves were incredibly powerful. People felt the ground shake hundreds of miles away in southern Florida, even in downtown Miami, believe it or not. Officials evacuated large government buildings as a precaution, and public transportation systems were also paused in their operations. Even visitors at Walt Disney were reported feeling the tremors. Huh? Did you guys know that? How about this? Let's go to our Miami affiliate, CBS Miami, and let's get the inside details about, again, an earthquake that hit off of the coast of Cuba, but it was felt even in Miami and even in Walt Disney.
Top at 5, we are following breaking news. A 6.1 magnitude earthquake strikes off the west coast of Cuba. The shaking felt right here in South Florida.
So did we just experience an earthquake in Miami? Because my building was shaking and I stepped out and now there's a bunch of people out here.
Also evacuated the Stephen P. Clark Government Center in downtown Miami.
Top at 5, we are following breaking news. A 6.1 magnitude earthquake strikes off the west coast of Cuba. The shaking felt right here in South Florida.
So did we just experience an earthquake in Miami? Because my building was shaking and I stepped out and now there's a bunch of people out here.
Also evacuated the Stephen P. Clark Government Center in downtown Miami, closed for the day due to the shaking. We have live team coverage for you tonight. Meteorologist Nick Marianos is standing by with a breakdown of the quake.
But we begin with CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister live in Kendall, where some buildings were evacuated. Anna?
Ladies, even though this earthquake was more than 370 miles away from us here in South Florida, the people that I've spoken to this afternoon here in Miami-Dade County tell me they could feel the ground beneath them shaking. I want to take you now to some video of downtown Miami, where we do know that the Stephen P. Clark building was evacuated this afternoon due to this earthquake. Police and fire rescue responded to this area. Miami-Dade Department of Transportation says the Metro Rail and Metro Mover were temporarily suspended. They're both now back operating, but will bypass the government center station. And now here in South Dadeland area, in this Kendall area, at least one building was evacuated after tremors were felt inside. People who live, work, and go to school in this area, they tell us they felt the rumblings beneath their feet shortly before 2:30 this afternoon. Take a listen.
We just feel like a shaking movement and we're like, oh, like what was that? And then we just hear an alarm and it's like, it said for everybody to evacuate the building.
And Maria also told me there was a very large police and fire rescue presence here on the scene when this happened. She tells me that she and the other people inside of that building, they had to stand outside for about 45 minutes before they were allowed back inside. But for now, reporting live from Kendall, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
It takes 90 seconds.
Once again, if you're just joining in, I'm DJ Kadero. This is the Diaspora News segment of the Diaspora Show, exclusively on 87.9 The Culture, where hip-hop and R&B lives. We're getting into our first story. An earthquake off of the coast of Cuba is being recorded yesterday as the strongest earthquake ever in the Gulf of Mexico region. It was so strong that it was felt in Miami, again, southern Florida in the United States. In the chat, Lita goes, "What up, Kadero?" What's up, Lita? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Again, our first story dealing with the earthquake off of the coast of Cuba. So thankfully, experts say that there are no current tsunami threats from the earthquake. In Cuba, teams are currently checking buildings and structural damage and ensuring everybody is safe. The disaster hits home for many of our African diaspora because Cuba shares a deep historic and revolutionary tie with the continent. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Were you guys even aware that there was an earthquake yesterday? Huh? That was felt even in Florida. Did you guys even know that? Or were you guys doing other things, huh? Like being adults, having bills to pay, huh? Having children to look after. Was that you? Let's get into our second and last story of the day. That's right, we only got 2 stories. And it deals with a Somali highly esteemed and honored referee being denied entry into the United States. All right, a developing story has taken place and sparking heavy criticism across the sports world. So, as you guys know, in just 2 days, on June 11th, 2026, FIFA will kick off the World Cup in North America, and the countries hosting will be United States, Canada, and Mexico. But Africa's top football referee will not be there. FIFA official referee Omar Abdulkadir Artan is a world-class soccer referee from Somalia. What's going on, Somalia? Big up Somali peoples. And he was named Africa's best referee. He was set to make history as the first ever Somali referee at a men's World Cup. Hold on. I don't think you guys. He was set to become the first ever Somali referee to referee a World Cup. Man, big up yourself, man. You guys hearing that? The first ever. Instead, when he arrived at the airport, U.S. immigration officials stopped him at Miami International Airport. He flew in from Istanbul, Turkey, with a valid U.S. visa and a diplomatic passport. Again, a diplomatic passport. I'll give you guys a little detail on what a diplomatic passport even means and why it's relevant to the story. Yet, U.S. Customs Border and Protection subjected him to an 11-hour interview. Are you guys hearing that? A FIFA official referee, the first Somali ever to do so. Well, he was set to become. He was subjected to an 11-hour interrogation at Miami International Airport from U.S. Customs. Probably because of their U.S. president. It was a D-bag and a half. Yeah, I said it. Officials cited the vague excuse as quote-unquote vetting concerns. FIFA has already removed Artan from the tournament roster because he can't get in the country. This move has sparked outrage from football fans and former players alike, including former England striker Ian Wright calling the World Cup a World Cup of chaos. For more on this, let's go to our affiliate and try to figure out exactly on what has taken place. Because this is pretty frustrating. Let's take a listen.
The World Cup is just days away, and we're following several developing stories both on and off the field.
Well, new this afternoon, a FIFA World Cup referee has been denied entry to the U.S. Omar Abdulkadir Artan was set to become the first Somali referee to officiate at the World Cup finals. According to Customs and Border Patrol, he was denied entry over the weekend, quote, due to vetting concerns. Somalia is one of several countries under a travel ban imposed by the Trump administration. A representative from Somalia says Artan was traveling with a valid visa. And FIFA issued a statement about an hour ago saying in part, quote, FIFA can confirm that match official Omar Abdulkadir Artan will be unable to train and officiate at the FIFA World Cup 2026 after he was denied entry into the United States. FIFA is not involved in host country immigration processes, including visa adjudication, and has been informed by authorities that Mr. Artan's status will not be changed at present.
Dealing with information overload? Notebook LM can turn dense documents into
Political controversy at the World Cup was always likely. And with just 2 days to go before the opening match, two incidents have hit the headlines. First, a Somali referee who was named African Referee of the Year has been withdrawn from the list of World Cup referees. This is after he was denied entry to the US. Omar Artan appears to have had the correct paperwork, so it's not clear why he was blocked. But the head of America's World Cup task force, Andrew Giuliani, accused Mr. Artan of talking to some very terrible people. While matches also take place in Canada and Mexico, the referee's base camp is located in Miami, and that means Mr. Artan would not be able to join the rest of the officials in between matches. In a statement from FIFA, they have said a host government ultimately determines who receives a visa and who is admitted into their country. Separately, and with Iran's players already in Mexico for their opening match, Iran's Football Federation has said its ticket allocation for the World Cup has been withdrawn. Neither football's governing body nor US organisers have commented on the Iranian accusation. But let's speak now to Mohammed.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm DJ Kadero, the host of the the African News Show. We can just call it that. The host of the Diaspora News here on the Diaspora Show, exclusively on 87.9 The Culture, where hip hop and R&B lives. We're getting into our second and final story. Again, a decorated and honored referee from Somalia, Mr. Omar Artan, was denied entry into the United States, set to become the first Somali referee to referee a World Cup. U.S. Border and Customs subjected him to an 11-hour interrogation at Miami International. Afterwards, they send him back to Turkey, where he is currently now. So, he had a U.S. valid visa. Again, to even fly into the U.S. without a visa it's like rolling the dice. And then he had a diplomatic passport. So let's talk about why a diplomatic passport even matters. The decision you guys can understand why I'm frustrated today. The decision raises major legal and political questions. Why should a diplomatic passport have protected this decorated and honored referee, Mr. Omar Artan? Okay, so in official status, a diplomatic passport is given to officials representing their nation's government on international business. A diplomatic passport has special protection. So under international travel standards, these passports are usually granted special visas and are often subjected to quicker or no border processing, because you're giving them the political courtesy and saying that, hey, you're not going to be a knucklehead. You're not going to be a nuisance. You're not going to be a menace to society. We might not even search you. Matter of fact, just go ahead and just walk through. You have a diplomatic passport. You're representing your country's businesses on an international level. And then the World Cup exemption. So FIFA hosts nations typically to sign agreements promising to grant smooth, unhindered access to all official players and referees. So why was he blocked then? Because Somalia remains under strict travel bans reinforced by the current U.S. political administration. You know, that D-bag that you guys voted for twice, number 45 and number 47. You guys can hear them. I'm so pissed off. Critics argue that the United States is letting local politics ruin a global celebration of unity. This president doesn't care about that. So the referee actually spoke out about this. Somali referee Artan spoke out and he said that he's deeply disappointed. And he's just a referee trying to live his biggest dream. But once again, African excellence faces unfair barriers on the global stage. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this first story. So I don't have much to say. Not too much. Let's go to the chat. Auntie Tracy says, Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Auntie Tracy OG. You guys can check out Auntie Tracy terribly terrific Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So it's tonight at 7 p.m. at Central Standard Time. So adjust it to your guys' local time zone. But yeah. How about this, man? Usually I tell you guys to go out and go off and cool down after some of these hard-hitting stories. Maybe that's what I need to do as well. So, before I give you guys the African proverb of the day, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go chill out. We're going to take a music break, just one song for this music break. When we come back, we'll have the African proverb of the day, and then we'll have our Top 10 Tuesday, Top 10 biggest Afrobeat hits of the week. This music break is brought to you by, I've said it before, the live action Lion King, not the second one, but the first one. It should have just been called Beyonce's album, because pretty much it's just Beyonce. I'm not saying it's bad. To be honest, I actually thought that the movie soundtrack was good. So back in the 90s, right? I know. DJ Kadero, you're acting like an unk today. I've been an uncle since I was a senior in high school. So, yeah, two of my siblings had children. So I became an uncle in high school. So I've been an unk for over however so many years. So don't worry about me being an unk. And for those that are like, what does it mean being an unk? For Gen X and even older millennials, when somebody's calling somebody an unk or an auntie, it's usually disrespect. It's usually disrespect. So, but me, I don't take it. I don't take it too hard, man. I know that kids are still developing their is it frontal core? I don't know. The front of their brains. So, in the 90s and maybe even the early 2000s, when you had movies, the movies had soundtracks that were from various artists. But the live action Lion King, the first one, it's just mainly Beyonce, which is fine. But just call it a Beyonce album. Don't even call it the Lion King soundtrack. Whatever. Like I said, I actually like the soundtrack. It's just call it a Beyonce soundtrack. Don't even call it a Lion King. I know. Now, when I get out of the studio today, I'm gonna be met with one of the Beyonce crazies. My question is, if you Beehive are so crazy, how come you guys haven't done anything about Nicki Minaj? She's dissed your guys' favorite singer's children on multiple occasions. How come you guys haven't done anything? Anyways, let me calm down. This is Pharrell. It's Beyonce. It's Water.